Namaskar, hello, welcome once again to CIET NCRT's live phone and interactive special program, and this is Sahyog, guidance for mental well-being of the children. Today we are here and we are about to discuss the topic adolescents searching for their role models. Well, we know that adolescence is a very complicated stage and they tend to make their role models. Well, who are these role models? Is there any quality that they look forward in their role models? A lot of questions are concerned with this topic. If you have any queries, any questions, please share them with us. You can mail us on our email ID, which is sayog.ncrt@ciet.nic.in. At this moment, you're watching us on PM eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12 and also on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. In the live chat box, write down your questions, your queries and share them with us. You can also call us on the number which is being flashed on your screens at the moment, and that is 8800440559. Well, we have two guests in our studio and they'll be more than happy to answer all your doubts, all your queries. Let me please introduce to you Dr. Rajiv Ranjan. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
नमस्कार सभी व्यूअर्स को मेरा प्रणाम एंड दीपावली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं।
जी सर,
थैंक यू मैम।
आपको भी। सर हैं रीजनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन अजमेर एनसीईआरटी से और मौजूद हैं हमारे साथ एक प्रैक्टिसिंग काउंसलर और वो हैं मिस प्रज्ञा सिंह। स्वागत है मैम आपका हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में।
गुड इवनिंग मैम।
गुड इवनिंग मैम। So let's begin this conversation, and without wasting any more time, let me ask my first very relevant and very valid question to Dr. Rajiv Ranjan. Sir, do the adolescents get influenced very easily, and how exactly is that?
Yes, adolescents get influenced by many things and many factors. We can look into two factors and or in two ways. One is it can be individual, and second one is there are many things which are common for adolescents also. So why I'm talking in the beginning about individual things, why I'm talking about these individual factors, because it may happen that whatever we are putting the points here, that may not be applying for all the adolescents. So it may be different from, it may vary from adolescent to adolescents. So that's why, but there are some common factors which mostly influence the adolescents, either it is girl or either it is a boy. And on the other hand, it can be, we cannot say that very rich adolescents and adolescents belonging to very rich family and adolescents belonging to a very poor family and in between the middle class family. These factors does not apply to them. No, nowadays because of the globalization and because of the social media, the factors applies for all the groups. Most of the factors apply to all the groups. So there are adolescents have strong ideas to perceive their culture, their society, their political factors, the social factors which is changing day by day. And another thing is adolescents nowadays, adolescents become the part of that change. It's not like that society get changed and then adolescents are perceiving it later on. It's not happening. Earlier it might be happening, but now the time has come where adolescents become the part of that change, and many of the activities they are engaged or participated in those activities. Another thing is nowadays because of social medias, televisions, and then movies, and then many actors and other factors also on the related to social media. Even in the neighborhood also, whatever the activities happening, because of that also, they are influenced by these factors. You can believe it or not, there are adolescents maybe sitting behind you who are influenced by a particular actor, and even he is wearing a watch, he is wearing his shoes, wearing his socks, and the hairstyle and the clip on the hairstyle because of a particular actor. So what happens, we parents and we teachers, we do not notice all these factors, that this particular changes, we only feel that this is not good, this is a bad, or this is a negative thing which is coming, which is influencing my child or influencing my students, and immediately we try to react, and we may try to take it negatively, but we try to understand that because of a particular actor, because of particular movie, because of the social media, because of the ad coming on the channel, even Akshay Kumar is writing with a particular company pen, and with a particular pen, the child will be selecting that particular pen for examination. Influence is this much. So that's why we parents and we teachers need to understand that there are factors in the society, there are factors in our culture, and there are factors on the social media or in the social medias. Day by day, it is influencing our adolescents. So these are few factors which influence our students. Many more we are going to look into this program ahead. Tanvi ma'am, please hand over to you.
Thank you, sir, for giving a brief introduction about the influences that adolescents have. And like you said, that they have a lot of role models and they get influenced very easily, be it a pen, be it any ad, be it social media. So parents, I think, need to be very careful in this regard. Let's move further and let's ask ma'am, Pragya ma'am, would you like to tell us that when the child grows and they enter the adolescence phase, there are certain changes that they face physically. So what are those changes? How do they grow physically?
Absolutely, ma'am. This is currently we all are talking about the same phenomena about how a child develops physically. And like Rajiv sir quoted very clearly that there is an impact of media and how they aggressively target and affect the adolescents. And in the same way, if we talk about the adolescents, we have added a picture that how a society portray themselves. Means you can find a beautiful dolls in market. They are actually giving them a standard that yes, this is how you should look like. A female will think about, okay, I look like her, and a male will think like that I should look like this particular doll, which are actually coming up in the market. And adolescents' physical development actually evolve at a rate that we can compare to prenatal development, and of course from the infancy. And but if you check into it, adolescents, because they are more cautious about it, they are more into the development which they are going through, so they watch closely their progress. Like any other children, they continuously fascinated, or they are ashamed or uneasy when they compare themselves to ideal criteria or picture that they are viewing. And they then change how they see themselves. Their ability to adjust in general will depend on how they and their parents handle the fast changes of puberty. And if I talk about how the body develops, the pituitary gland, like we are all aware of it, that it is the body's master gland, and it managed by hypothalamus. And each person's body part has been manufacturing hormones from endocrine glands since birth. And these are the chemicals or the hormones which are circulated into, like we talk about androgens and estrogens. These are the hormones which we call a male hormone and a female hormone. Next slide, ma'am. So if I talk about the male, that how they develop, there are male testicles. They are being released more. This particular time, androgens are more secreted during adolescence. In the same way, if we talk about the female ovaries releases higher estrogen during the start of the adolescence years, and this is important to understand that. That for boys, this has an impact on the growth of the testicles and scrotum, and as well as development of the penis, which appears around the year later. And in the same way, like if talk about the progesterone is the main hormones in female, and this has an impact on the growth of females and their key sex traits, such as development of uterus or vagina, as well as the expansion of the labia and clitoris. And this is done in the age of 12 to 12 and a half years, when the child, a male child, can see that there is some ejaculation or semen discharge. And in the same way, in females, there are first menstruation cycle starts, and And typically, these initial emissions do not include fertile sperms in males. And a year or more later, an egg experiences its first ovulation in female. So, if these are the primary development, if we'll talk about the primary sex trait, over to the next slide, if we'll look into it, we are mentioning that how secondary sex trait also emerges in adolescence with time. And these are the outer things that you see, that body changes shows the sexual maturation. And this is how the pubic underarm or facial hair in men, or the voice deepens, the greater muscular development you can find as a secondary sexual trait. In the same way, female secondary trait include a fat deposition on their breast and hips, and it also widens the pelvic area of the bone, which increases the pubic and underarm hair. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining the changes that the boys and the girls go through while this stage is going on. And of course, it's not easy for them to handle so many changes in one go. They definitely need to talk about it, either to their parents or teachers or counselors or somebody or the other. With this, I would like to ask Sir here. Sir, how do you think that the psychosocial development occurs among adolescents during this period?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Tanvi, ma'am. Just now, Pragya ma'am was telling that there are lots of physical changes and physiological changes are there in the body of the girl child and body of the boy child. So it happens, just try to understand that even little bit temperature is there in the body, then we get many more changes and we feel restless and we feel discomfort, and later on we also feel stress also, that how to overcome with this. Try to understand adolescent age gets lots of experiences. We may forget, slowly and slowly we may forget. But because of lots of changes, lots of physiological changes in the body, it brings a sudden change in the mind. The mind is dominated by a particular factor. Like if I come to office and I have no watch in my hand, if I have come in a like sandal and nothing is happening, I see, oh, I come without watch, I forget to wear my watch, and I may forget to wear my belt also. But for adolescents, if he comes out of home and maybe he did not wear the watch, it's a big thing for him. It's a big problem for him. He cannot stay. He says his friends, oh my God, I forget my watch. And immediately he tries to go to house. When he reaches to college and he is in front of the teacher, almost for 10 minutes or maybe for whole class, he is disturbed because he did not wear his favorite watch or he did not wear his favorite shoes. So that's why he is getting disturbed because of that. The priority is such, like a mother who has left at home, she has come to office and she forget to remove the diaper of the baby, a 3 months or 5 to 6 month old baby. She forget to remove, and she is feeling that if I do not go to home right now, maybe my maid forget to do it to change, and my child gets anemia or my child gets fever. So it's such an important thing for an adolescent child, either it is a girl, either it is a boy. Immediately after, when the child comes to social setup, adolescent child comes to social setup, the psychology of the child gets active. That how I am right now in this particular situation, the people around me, how they are perceiving. 50-year-old person, how he will perceive me and what he will think about me. But on the other hand, if I am a girl child, 20-year-old boy, I am 18, I am a teenage girl child, then 20-year-old boy and another teenage boy, 3 boys are standing in this social situation also, how they will perceive me. So there are confusion, lots of confusion, and lots of confusion brings the child in a certain situation that what I have to do. Either I have to follow this, either I have to follow this, and which is better for me. So the mind gets different types of perception and different types of alarm also. In between this, the child, the adolescent child try to adjust himself that what is best for me and gets an awareness. Maybe the family members are there in that particular situation. Fear will be there, okay, and cautiousness will be there. I have to be cautious. But on the other hand, if I do not smile, if I do not look like this, my friends will ignore me. So that's why lots of changes are there during this psychosocial development. That's why we as a parents or we as a family members or we as a teachers try to understand the child in this particular situation, and everything we need to take positively. I am taking a little more time. We try to understand one side is need of the child, one side is interest of the child, one side is belief system of the child, one side drives of the child, and one side values are also for the child. So what to follow, what to do. So that's why psychosocial development of adolescents or teenage child is very important, and that's why we have to handle it carefully. Thank you, Tanvi ma'am. Over to you.
Absolutely, sir. Just the way you said that it's very important to handle these psychosocial changes that adolescents or teenagers go through. And we understood that there are certain psychosocial development that takes place in teenagers, as well as some physical growth also happens in the bodies of boys and girls. So let me ask Pragya ma'am, is there any link between these two, the physical development and psychosocial development?
This is a very nice question, if I'll say about it. And we all are thinking about the same thing, and how these two things we can relate it, how these two things, like Rajesh sir was saying, that there are lots of confusion is going on at that age if we'll talk about the psychosocial aspect. And with the same aspect, there are two concepts that arises, that is real me and ideal me. A real self, that will say that real me is what the individual actually is, the how he feels, how he behave, how he appear, and how he think. All these things define his true self, that what that person actually is. And ideal self we'll talk about is the one what he wants to be, what he dreams about to be, what he wished to be. So all these types of idealistic representation that like since the birth, whatever he's seeing, whatever he's going through, he's watching all those things. So there is you can say the things are piling up one by one, over and over. So all these things what child is perceiving, and he want to be like that. So all those things when we'll talk about it, this all things comes to the idealistic representation, and it is based on how he has discovered himself and how he has discovered the entire society, like the mirrors, what he's seeing and what he's imagining himself. Means in the morning, when a child is seeing a mirror, what he's actually seeing himself, like is he seeing himself as a person who he actually is, or he's finding someone else in that mirror, like the society is portraying him, or their parents want him to be. So all these things comes with the some push-ups. We can say that there is the parents are there, or the teachers are there. So what they taught us, what they admire in us, and what the society supports us, we believe that yes, these are the best things, these are the best interests, and this is what we should be. Apart from seeing the real self, there is we can see the pseudo self he is building up, that he want to become that particular kind of thing. So as more gap is there in real self and ideal self, there are some complexities. So we will discuss it later. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. So here you just taught us that there's a difference between real self and ideal self, or should I say pseudo self, which the students or the teenagers try to build for themselves. Okay. With that, let's just understand, why is it so important for the teenagers or adolescents to discuss their feelings, their inner feelings, what they're going through? Are they confused about anything? Are they thinking about something particular? Are they scared? Or is there any particular feeling that is harming them? So there's a need to discuss all of it. And let's ask Rajiv sir that why is it so important for them to discuss it all with someone or the other? Sir.
Thank you, Tanvi ma'am. Thank you. Uh, I will take one example of development of a child. Just try to understand that if there is a 2-year-old child and there is a teenage boy, like a 13-year or 14-year-old old boy is there, or the girl child is there. So the gap between the age is 2-year-old and then 13 or 14-year. 12-year gap is there, both of their age. 12-year gap is there. Then another side, 14-year-old boy is there, and 14 plus 12, 26-year-old adult boy is there. And afterward, again, if I add 12 years, then it will be 36-year-old parents or somebody is there, 36-year-old person is there. Either it is a lady, either it is a man. Try to understand if 2-year-old child, if he is walking outside the home and there is a dog or there is a cow crossing from there, 2-year-old child will try to touch him, try to hug the cow or dog, and then try to play with that dog. That dog may harm her, that cow may harm her, or she will try to put her hand outside somewhere in the bushes or among the small plants where some insects can be there or maybe some reptile can be there which may harm the child and it can be life-threatening. Just try to understand why it is happening, and during that time if a teenage child is looking that particular scene, immediately उनके बड़े भैया या बड़ी दीदी जो है, she will tell or he will tell, oh baby, don't do that, it is not good, that dog can harm you, or that particular bushes there can be insect and it can harm. Oh, little baby, don't understand, you should not do this, come here, and the child is pulling that small baby, 2-year-old baby. What is happening later on, the teenage children, they get elderly, their physique get like 5 feet, 5.5 feet, maybe sometimes if it is 17-year-old boy or girl, maybe 6 feet. So the physical development is there, but teenage students who are watching the show, just try to understand that your body is grown up, but your mind has the same difference what a 2-year-old child and a teenage child, and I mean your age has 12 to 14-year gap, the same gap you are having mental development. Due to mental development, your physical development is there. When you compare with adult person, your physical development as per your teacher, your parents, you are same, your physical development is same, but your mental development is still not there. Why not there? Because try to understand, there are development like moral development, there are development like integration of all the elements of the mind, and like try to understand, there are issues in the society which require a particular maturity. There are factors in the society which you did not get the exposure with those factors that can harm you, that can put you in the particular situation which can harm you. So just I am telling that you need guidance, you need a broad views about that, broad picture of that. Adult person or elderly person will not give you the solution, but he can show you the large picture so that you can take the better situation, better solution about yourself. So that's why guidance is important. Over to you, Tanvi.
Okay. So you have given us valid reasons that why the counseling is important, why sharing of feelings is also important. Sir, we don't have much time left, so we are going to conclude here. Any message you would like to give our viewers here, sir? Rajiv, sir, any message from your end?
Ma'am, I'll take it from here.
Sure,
Yes,
sure, ma'am. Ma'am, we have last 1 minute left, so
Yes,
please make it very brief.
Yes, I do understand. So I want to give this message to my adolescents, my students and children who are watching. And I wanted to say that although you don't have to be precisely like your role model, but try to emulate their accomplishment and personality as much as you can. Never forget that the person you look up to have flaws, since they are also people. However, you must exercise responsibility and only select the right. Role models are important for a variety of reasons, as was previously said, and there are many wonderful examples. So, select a role model who will help you achieve your career goals. Make sure your model is a nice model and ethical person as well. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful message. I'm sure all our viewers, the teenagers especially, they're going to take care of all these points. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us and for letting us know that adolescents searching for their role models, when they search for it, what should they look forward to? And let's not get influenced by anything they see on social media or on movies or TV. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, sir, once again.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you to all our viewers for being with us throughout this program. I really hope that this is going to be very useful to all of you. If in case you have missed watching this program live, please watch it again anytime you want on our NCRT official YouTube channel. And you can always raise your questions too. We are here to answer all of those. So thank you once again. Please take care of yourself. We are wrapping up our today's programs here itself, but we'll come back tomorrow again with more programs on more topics, on more subjects. So keep on watching PM eVidya channels. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaskar.